Okay, let's see. Oh, we're live. Hi, everybody. We're on. Hello. No, not I. We are J3 Spotlight.
It's
A
really
crazy
you.
little show here. What say, Frank?
It's really you. You are GH spot mini spot.
I don't want to be GH. It's okay. It's all of us together. It really is. I swear it. I don't want to be it by myself. Hello, everybody. Welcome J3 Spotlight here on JLJ Media. I'm one of your hosts, James Lott Jr. As you see, Frank Moran. Hi, Frank.
Hey, everybody.
We're both here to talk about General Hospital in Port Charles. There are folks who aren't here today. Folks, there's one folk. That's Lucretia Lyon. There's only one. She couldn't make it today, but she sends her best. And she'll return at some point. And I talked to Carla Renata for 4 hours the other night.
4 hours?
We caught up.
Wowzers. How is she?
She sent her love to you, Frank. We talked. So everybody, she wants me to tell everybody she loves you all. She has been so. Oh, it's good to see Frank this time. Yes. She had a oh my god, oh my god, don't do that again. I love it. She's doing fine, Frank. She's the Curry Critic is exploding. She's doing a lot of interviews. She's had an interview with Matt Damon she got the other day.
Nice.
For his new film. Is it tomorrow? What's the new film?
Stillwater?
Stillwater. Yeah, he's getting lots of notices for that. She got him. She loves everybody. I told her she's always welcome to come on anytime, and she wants to. But her show is today. Her shows are on Sundays, and she's been swamped with movies and and all that stuff. She's been really busy. So, but she loves everybody. And one of these days, she'll come on. She ran into Brianna Nicole, Henry, the other day, who plays Jordan. She ran into her at a thing. It was like, oh my god, I know you. So yes, but we love her. We love her. She's doing fine. She and I are up. We're both up for 2 awards against each other. The Capital City Web Awards, which are coming out. I think the ceremony's in 2 weeks, and we're both up against each other for Best Host and Best News Entertainment Series.
Man,
yeah. But I want her to win. I have an award already. I have one. I love it. I want her to. Well, and also Flobo's nominated against us too. So I would love Flobo to win too. Frank, we know Flobo too. Another one we know.
I mean, look at that. I mean, yeah, new content every day on Flobo.
That's right. We're all up against each other, and so I'll let you know how it turns out. But we're hanging there. Carter says, "Send your love." Thank you for making this show the number one show on my network. Once again, it's the number one show on my network. It is just completely. It must be Frank, because I know it's not me. So I appreciate that.
I'll ride this as long as it is. The moment we're number 2, I'm out. I can't not be number 1.
Frank, Forgotten Hollywood, my other surprise hit series, is coming close. It's been number 2 for weeks. It's doing really well.
No,
Forgotten Hollywood, Frank. Forgotten Hollywood, and GH. Those are my 2 top shows. So thank you, everybody, for that. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get her on the show. I reached out to her and try to get her on the show. Because I didn't interview her. I wasn't there. She did it when they were doing the show on AfterBuzz. So I never interviewed her or met her. So I would love to have her on the show. So I'm trying to get that. And also Bold and Beautiful. It's out right now. Mini Spotlight is out. Go to any streaming service, whatever. It's out there. Me, Tammy Govea, and Amanda Russ laughed our way through the whole episode. So check that out. We did some impressions. We had new shirts made. Go show it. We're crazy. That show is crazy. We have a good time. So Frank is crazy. We have a good time, and that's out right now. And then, if you haven't seen it already, my big interview with Eric Braden, who plays Victor Newman on Young and the Restless. It is out now. People are already commenting, and I mean, he's my buddy. It's my 3rd time sitting down with him, and he came straight from the set. He was actually filming, and he sat down with me for 35 minutes, and we had and no topic was off limits. Trust me. There's some cussing. He talks about being a person who likes the mask. It's a whole thing. So check that out now. It's out there. JLJ Media. It's out there. The Wide Arming Spotlight with Eric Braden. And of course, Audition Days is finishing up over there. They have the lesbians, I guess. Well, I don't know if they're lesbians. I guess they're 2 chicks who like each other from Days of Our Lives. They play, Precious and Allie. They're on right now over there with Tony Moore and company. So check them out, Audition Days. That's everything, Frank. Okay, that's everything. Thanks, everybody. That's all that's been
great. Look at that. You and Eric Braden, just close personal friends.
We actually are friends, and that's I never thought that. And I mean, I've heard about him, the bigness of him, from the first time we met about 5 years ago. Complete. He's a softie. The one thing about him is he loves his family. He loves his family. He loves his son, who's writing the next Den of Thieves movie. He wrote the first one.
Oh wow, that's great.
His son's a huge filmmaker. He did London Falling, Olympus. He did all that. So he's doing that right now, and he loves his grandchildren. He loves his family, and he's been to the hood. That's our big talk. He's been to the hood here in South LA. We can talk about that. So we're gonna talk GH, folks. Everybody calm the fuck down. It's my show. I'm talking about other stuff too. I have a whole soap empire that I promote on all my shows. I can stop it at any time. I can cease it at any time. But I support all the soaps. We're gonna talk GH. We're gonna give it to you. You have nothing to worry about. But anyway, so yes, we are friends. You have to yell at people sometimes. They get smart with me.
Yeah.
I'm here for you guys. Trust me, this is hard work. Okay. So now we will talk about General Hospital, because now we are ready to talk about General Hospital.
All right.
I know people hate me. I'm gonna do another show of people's mean comments to me. I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do another one. The first one was popular, so I'm gonna do it. People who hate me. I'm sure they hate me on here. But you watch anyway. Okay. I'm gonna start from the backwards going forwards kind of thing.
Great.
Just to change it up a little bit. So Anna finally using her, almost said DVX, that's the bad people. Almost said WGN, that's a TV show. What the fuck is that place, Frank? The WSB.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, my FSB, I don't know what's going on.
It's great.
FYI, she finally used her skills and she's coming to the conclusion that Finn has something to do with it. Like, finally.
It wasn't, I mean, just seeing that scene there in the bar as they're interrogating the helicopter pilot. And when he starts describing the other person on the roof, just to see how Fennell Hughes played, just like the realization, like, oh, geez, that's Finn. But as always, it can never be just instantaneous. It's got to be like, I gotta spend a couple days just trying to like be around Finn and figure it out, and then I can say like, yep, it's Finn. It's Finn.
Yeah, she was totally finding her way there. You can see she was kind of slowly. I kind of liked it. It was okay. She's getting there. I think she's getting there. She's getting there. It's like, I mean, and the part that made me laugh, and if folks at home, I'm gonna make you laugh too. When in the outdoors, I always think of Frank. Every time I do an outdoor scene, I think of Frank. I don't know. Every time I do one, I just start laughing. And that back area back there by Prospect Studios in the corner. When Finn and Elizabeth were talking, and Liz says the actual line, "It's what Jason does." I couldn't stop laughing when she said that. He's a hitman. It's what Jason does. Like, he can help us. I couldn't stop laughing when she said that.
That whole scene was ridiculous. Just like great to see Jason just kind of just skulking in the bushes, just waiting.
Oh yeah,
listening.
Yeah. Grown man.
Right. But I will say I admire Jason that he is a man of. He only just needs what is on him at the moment. I'm thinking if I'm going anywhere, I'm usually got like a little, little tote bag or something.
Yeah, maybe a little backpack, a bag lady.
No. I mean, but Jason, boom, nope. It's just I got my two muscles on my guns, and that's it. I'm just gonna just start charging through that park, and then his Jason sense went off, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, somebody's talking about something that probably mentions me. I probably should just listen in on this.
Yes. Oh my God. No, Frank. When he first returned, I got a chance to interview him, and that's my second biggest interview here on this show, on this channel. You can check it out on the front page. We mentioned the return of the jeans and the black shirt. I mean, that's his uniform. Yeah, he doesn't care. I don't think he carries a wallet or anything. I don't think he has an ID or a driver's license. Who knows? Yeah, he just walks around town, just nothing, carrying nothing.
It's great. I love it. Great. I did have that sort of confidence in yourself that you're like, I just need what's on, what I have here in my pockets. That's it. I don't need anything else.
That's it. And I was laughing. But I just thought this conversation was ridiculous to me too, because Elizabeth is right. okay, I know you don't trust Jason, but Elizabeth says he's good. You should trust Elizabeth. You should know a little bit about his history because you've been here a while. This is what Jason does. When she said this is what Jason does, I was like, this is what he does. Let him help you. But now I think it's too late. I think now Anna shows up in his office at the end on Friday. So I think that's
yeah. It's this whole, for whatever reason, they're dragging the storyline out. And again, I have no sense of time for on GH from when they hit Peter to now. It has been at least a month or so for us.
Oh yeah.
And the lack of urgency of like, we got to get this body out of here.
Right.
Instead, it's just like, I don't know. What do you think we should do? Should we do something? I don't know.
Right.
It's just been like, I feel like I would have bought it taking this long if you would have shown me them trying different things and those plans failing. Hey, what if we did this? Oh, that failed. Oh, what if we tried this? Oh, that failed. But for them to just constantly kind of like, no, we're just going to kind of talk about it and talk around it. It's just like, this is just unbelievable that it's gone on this long. And still Finn is telling Elizabeth, you know what? Let me think of something. I'll come up with a way out. Like, how? You've had all this time already and you haven't done anything. How are you going to now think of something?
No, it's I don't know why, you know how I feel this whole storyline anyway, so I don't know why it's dragging it. But I will say, I guess you're using this as a catalyst for a bunch of storylines right now. It's an umbrella story. So, and you and I said it before, they have to kind of keep it going a little bit because it affects the Maxie baby storyline. It affects a couple other things that if he is found, I guess, that changes everything. It changes those storylines, I guess. So he's being used as a prop, I guess.
Yeah, and I understand you want to kind of lengthen out that story, and you're right, it has repercussions for other storylines as well. But I just feel like there's got to be a better way than them just kind of hemming and hawing and not really doing anything. Instead, give me scenes of them trying something. You can still have all that kind of burgeoning relationship building between Finn and Liz by having them try things that fail and then realizing, man, this is taking forever. We're going to get caught. Rather than just like, let's go check out Violet's softball game. And we had, it made cupcakes.
Hey, first of all, what was GH's obsession with softball? What is the obsession? I can give two shits about softball or baseball, or any of that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, but this summer we're having lots of that going on. Adults, kids, everybody's playing it. Apparently,
it's. All right. I guess every TV show shows may have their kind of particular thing they may gravitate towards. For GH, it's softball, but for me, it means very little unless, hey, show me a game. How about doing that?
Yeah, I know. Hello.
Yeah.
They got all this money for new sets. They got a couple of new sets going on. They got the Savoy now and the pool area. And I'm like, what's going on? We can't give us a diamond, a baseball diamond.
Yeah, you can't tell me that they couldn't shoot. They could find. There's plenty of diamonds all around Los Angeles area that they could tie in several storylines to that softball game. People watching in the stands, people on opposing teams, and build story through all that. But no,
I would still hate it, but I would go with that if we be a little better. So that's just kind of that's going on there. Also, I had to say I did not see this coming. It's ridiculous. I didn't see it coming though. Alexis gets transferred. There's a co-ed, he's what they say, lighter feel at this prison she's at. And who rolls up in a wheelchair? Ryan Chamberlin. Where did that come from?
That makes zero sense to me. Why this man is in that light of a institution? What?
Right.
It's like I know that he's kind of that locked in syndrome, but still, he is a serial killer. So locked in or not, keep him in a maximum security prison. I don't understand this.
Frank, I was completely in shock. I was like, oh, I did not see that coming at all. I really didn't see that coming. And I was like, okay. I guess so. I guess there you go.
Yeah. I guess it needs to be to give Alexis something else to do. She had Sean in Pentonville. So now at this new place, she needs to have some kind of storyline thing.
But Ryan Chamberlin, I really have no idea where the story's going. At this point, because now Spencer's been kind of revealed to us that he's the one behind it, not Ryan. but they got I mean anymore. John Lindstrom, yes, I'll take him. I mean, I'll take him where I can get him, I guess. But it's just like that was a surprise. I was like, what? Because I had a feeling she's gonna run into somebody, but I didn't think it'd be him.
But the only thing that worries me is that what we talked about a little bit last week, the rumors about a potential exit for John Lindstrom.
Oh, yeah.
This is what it's kind of seeding. I'm like, oh no, come on, no.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
Not this way. I mean, if he needs to exit, I understand, but in the way that they're proposing, it sounds awful.
I was hoping it was Cyrus too. For some reason, I was hoping it was Cyrus for now. I was hoping it'd be him, but it didn't work out. I mean, I'm with her. I was hoping it'd be Cyrus. I missed him. I missed his character.
Yeah.
What?
I think I really would have.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. And Sean is free. And now to go back to the Hayden Barnes mystery. The whole shooting thing.
Yeah. It's
with Sam. Your buddy Sam.
Oh, yeah, for sure that case is not going to get solved quickly or correctly with Sam involved. That's your recipe for disaster there.
Yes.
But enough scenes of we get it. Nicholas is sweating this out, but it's constantly these discussions only really happen like when Nicholas is in earshot, so he can be like, oh.
But they're going backwards in time. So I thought Sean was kind of in and out. I think he was going to be here for a while. But he's here for longer than I thought he was going to be here.
Man, that's great. Let's keep him. Yeah. Let's keep him around for a while. I mean, there's certainly storytelling possibilities now with this whole thing with Jordan, and she's kind of available. So
yes, kinda. We saw Portia and my man Curtis kiss.
Yeah.
They kiss.
Yeah. One last thing with Sean before we get to Portia and Curtis is the scene between Sean and Stella.
I was gonna say that. I said Sean is out and Stella goes off. Woo!
Man, that I liked it where she said it, she stands by it, she doesn't have any regrets. And that she just gave herself that attagirl after it was done. She's like, I did it. I did it.
Well, she did. She was like, I'm so proud of myself. No, the thing is, I mean, it's realistic. To me, it's realistic. It's like everybody's like, oh, I forgive you. Okay, we'll be friends, kind of frenemies. She should hate him. Why not? I think why not? I think it's in the long run they might end up, reconciling somehow. These kind of stories go. But I thought, yeah, it's the first time seeing him in all these years, and he's out walking around. Her son is dead, and everything that went down. Why not? I thought it was a great. I mean, and if Renee Watson knows how to do it, she knows how to do it. She just, full guns.
And there's one thing about Stella, she holds on to stuff. She holds on to it for a long time.
Yes, she does. She do not forget.
Yeah,
she doesn't. And this whole storyline is encompassing that she talks to Jordan and convinces Jordan to go see Curtis. Same time, and of course, they're kissing as a boy.
Well, do you think Jordan and Curtis are done? Do you feel like
they should be done to me? I kind of like Portia and Curtis together.
Yeah.
I like the slow build. I like they build a friendship. I like when Jordan said, "Me and Portia are friends." I kind of like that too. There's Sean. There's Teddy. There's all kind of men running around that she could link up with, so to speak. I mean, it doesn't have to be Curtis. I was never a fan of them together anyway. I was a fan of the other, our buddy Vanessa Antoine. And them together. I feel like I like Brianna Nicole Henry now. I like her now. I wasn't a big fan at the beginning, but I like her now. I think Liquor is somebody else. I mean, there's other plenty. Her and Sean, why not? They're the parents of TJ. Rekindle whatever, find with it as they're searching for the killer and all this stuff. I mean, all that kind of the shooter and all stuff. Why not? I think why not?
No, I agree. And it seems like the show was not invested in truly trying to see if they could work through these issues when they had the big fallout. I mean, you rarely saw them trying to make things work or have any sort of conversations that didn't just go no, we're done. Okay, we're done. So
yeah, we're just done. Just done. I was like, somebody, Joe says Jordan Taggart. Why not? I think why not? Give Taggart more to do. I mean, I have no problem. There's other men out there that they have to pair her up with somebody. There's other ones out there. There's not just Curtis. But I kind of like the Curtis Portia tentative slow build, getting back together, kind of. They're both free. They both are really free. Do what they want, and I think why, and I think it sets up for the whole Trina reveal that that's his daughter. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
That's my prediction.
But I also feel like that as much as Curtis hates lies in a relationship and will walk away from that, the fact that the lie is also revealing that he has a daughter does not make it that easy for him to just say, "I'm out."
That's a good point. That's a good point, right? That's a good thing to do. So I am thinking, yeah, I think it'll go full steam ahead with Curtis and Portia. I don't know what if folks on who are watching, do they have a name? Is it Lotion? I mean, what's her name? Let's say, Curtis and Portia. Portia, Curtis. I don't know. Any name for them? Do they have a name?
Uh,
I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
I was trying to make Croatia work, but it's not.
Croatia. I know Croatia. But any name. So anyway, so you guys will work that out, folks. But I would, that's really interesting.
I applaud Curtis going right in though, right there at the Savoy, just like boom, boom, boom.
And giving our girl behind the wonderful mixologist and hostess, wherever she is, she's getting under 5 lines, Frank. She's getting lines. She talked to Terry. Mm-hmm.
Yes, she's doing it. All right, let's break it down though. I mean, we saw, the Savoy had its like soft opening for Trina's graduation party, but this week was the big official Savoy opening. That place did not look that busy. That was pretty light attended opening.
It was probably because of COVID. I'm sure there's probably some things they can't really, do because of restrictive things. But it didn't. They could have made it seem filled up more. I don't know. I mean, or something. I don't know. It was it was a soft opening, so to speak.
But I can't figure that place out because I guess it is just there's no food. There's just liquor. There's these little small white little cube tables.
Yes.
There's no dancing, so there's some kind of light music playing in there.
I'm assuming it's a lounge.
All right.
But okay. But a lounge, but a lounge usually will have food and different kind of seating. They'll usually have like, it's been a while since I've been to a club, but that's why I went to one. They would have like couches and things mixed in with tables and chairs. But they would offer like bite-size eats. They would offer like, finger foods.
Yeah.
With the drinks, I would think. I mean, I don't know. I'm confused by it too. They talk about the drinks. Johnny Hayden said I said that too, Frank. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's just like, I don't understand what it is either, really. Sure. It's set up really weird. It seems really, the chairs are all in the middle of these high top, they're on the middle of the room. I mean, you can't even get to the bar. I'm like, I used to work in food service, so this is not hospitality. It's not working for me.
Yeah.
I want to change it. I want to redesign it.
Yeah.
But I was laughing because, okay, it's a little side note, folks, on if you watch Young and the Restless, there's a black woman who's in the background. We found her name is Crystal on the show. She wears the same outfit every day. This green dress. Everybody makes fun of her. But that's her uniform. We found that's her uniform. She got 2 lines once, and that was it. That's what I'm saying. This chick on this show on GH, she had several lines on several episodes. She's like, They talk to her and they show her up close. She's got a big fro, and she's talking to Terry about, a man, maybe getting a man. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. So they're trying to give us some atmosphere, I think, at the Savoy. But this is a Savoy club here in Inglewood where I live. Looks very different.
The girls' night out though, that kind of crashed and burned. I mean, because Terry is all about like, hey, yeah, we're putting this on the books, we got it going on, and it just really went nowhere. I mean, Terry, I guess she wanted Portia and Curtis to get together anyway, but she was just like, there, and then I'm out. See you later. Like
they should have had them hang out a little more there, and then they didn't do that. I agree with you, they didn't do that. But it was, I mean, there was friendship happening, which is really interesting. They're bringing more Terry. And on Friday, Monica says she's made a decision she's going to endorse. It's a fly out next week. Do you have any idea who you think it'll be? You think it'll be Britt or you think it'll be Terry? It's Monica, so I'm wondering who it would be.
I mean, if there, I know we had Matthew on here a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about like, that Terry's under contract now. So like, if that's the case, let's give it to her and give her some more stuff. I mean, I've been happy with the scenes that I've seen with her, with and Liz. So if that's the case, then give her the chief of staff stuff. I mean, Britt's got enough storylines going on that being chief of staff is not paramount to earning. She doesn't need that aspect to drive stories for her.
True. So folks watching, Terry or Britt? I see one Terry. So let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. I mean, for me, I actually go with Frank's thinking. Either one will be fine with me. I don't care. But in the end, Britt has a lot more story. So she has those stories. So you're right. She can totally get into. I have a feeling a pregnancy story is going to happen. That's just me.
No, I'm with you on that.
I have a feeling. I think it's coming. So there's a whole thing there. And speaking of pregnancy, see my segue there. Brando chooses life outside the mob, Frank, not life inside the mob.
You know, I mean, I appreciated the scene with Brando and Curtis where they were kind of hashing out those aspects and stuff. So I did like that discussion. Even the scene between Spinelli and Brando. Just a kind of couple different kind of different points of view on that dilemma that Brando was going through in the moment. So him, from what we've seen of Brando, we've never seen him be like the guy that's been, he wants to help out the family, but it's never been like, I've got to be in there. I've got to be involved. I think he's been, as far as we know, as far as the show is shown us, he's been very happy working at the garage, owning that garage, doing his thing, and helping out when he could. But so for him, when Sasha and him, have this, not necessarily an ultimatum, but just her truth, I can see why Brando, it makes sense for me that Brando would choose that. It doesn't seem like it's like he's going to regret making this choice, or he's being dishonest to himself, at least what I've taken away from what the show has shown us.
Yeah, the thing is, you guys are chatting. I agree with you. I don't want any more babies either, but I have a feeling they're going that direction. I hope I'm wrong. They're all okay. They're all talking about, let's see, Terry. No for babies. Watching this Dave's also okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's this show does things, as we know. Sometimes they'll just drop something, go a different direction. Sometimes they'll drop something, pick it up 10 years later. Sometimes they drag things out for a long time. Brando is very much a guy who will help out if needed, I think. But he's not, you're right, it's not a desire for him to be in there. Gladys is the one who's the grabby hands, trying to get in there. And she makes you laugh. She was supposed to hate her, folks. That's the whole point. You're supposed to hate. She's annoying. She's an annoyance. She annoys everyone. That's why I kind of like her, because she annoys everyone. But I think, Brett, I agree with you, Chartreuse. He will stand up when he needs to. But he likes the idea of this whole new family thing. I think he likes the fact that I think he likes Sasha. I think he likes Sasha and the baby coming, and they're such a cute couple. And I thought it was great that she stood up for herself and was like, "No, I don't want that lifestyle for me." I mean, not everybody should want to be in the mob. I mean, this is like for real people. It's like you should think, it wasn't Brando. Brando was a military guy, like you said. He was a military guy, but that's different. Brando's mom has, hi, Marlon Wallace. Brando's mom has something up her sleeve. Yep. Daisy Flower. We do hate her. Yes. Lori, Gladys is a great actor. No, the person who's playing, we're supposed to hate her. That's the point. She's good. The person who's playing her is doing a great job. Because she bugs the F out of us. I mean, that's it. Everyone's annoyed by her. I mean, Olivia was annoyed by her. Everybody's annoyed by her. She does not care. That's what I love about her. Gladys doesn't give a shit. She don't care. At all.
There is zero self-reflection in that woman.
Oh, none.
I've been screwed by the world, and the world owes me. So let me get my taste.
She's always, oh my God. And they said to her, well, you're always bringing it up how you relate to the family. I mean, it's like, she is just so, when she told homegirl, Sam, I'm related to my blood. You're related to extra children or whatever. And then she was like, well, Jason and Sonny. I gave Sam credit that time. She's like, Jason and Sonny, I guess sometimes blood is thicker than, water is thicker than blood. And I love that line. So I'll give Sam that line. But it's just like, she just reading Sam, like, you are nothing. And I literally, we're practically family. I thought that was, oh my God, it's so funny. She loves some free drinks. You know that. She loves her some free drinks. I would too. But she loves some free drinks. I mean, she makes you laugh, but she's supposed to, but the fact that she hates Sasha, because we love Sasha, so it's kind of like, that's the point. We're supposed to not want her to do anything to Sasha. And it'd be very interesting to see where that goes.
I mean, I could also see, is this something that Gladys tries to stir things up and, Sasha loses the baby?
God, I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and plus, thinking about like the time that that Dev was around, with Brando. I mean, we didn't see many scenes of them together, but at least the way that Brando would talk about his relationship with Dev made it seem like that he really enjoyed having that. So
Yes.
I could see why he'd be like, yeah, having a family that would be a real family would be very cool to him.
And he also he likes his garage. He likes his
Yeah.
garage. He's fine with it. I think he's fine with it. I just think he's just like it can be fun and exciting. Obviously, we all know that, but I don't think he cares. I really don't think he's that cares that
And
much.
I don't know why. I mean, Gladys is not thinking smart, where it's like, hey, yeah, you should get with Sasha if she's the face of deception. She's a co-owner in that company. It's a successful company. There's a lot of stuff going on. You could live a really comfortable life. If I just like ingratiate myself, I can ride your coattails on that nice lavish lifestyle. But no, it's Gladys is like, no, no, it's got to be the Corinthos. I need that Corinthos, that Corinthos connection. And yeah,
Whatever. It's just whatever. It's crazy. Speaking of Corinthos, let's switch over to Quartermain. There's several things going on in that family right now. But one towards the end of the week, we had, you and I said it before. I love the scenes between Monica and Jason because
yes,
they're always steeped in reality, and they had a really good conversation after he did some reconnaissance. Excuse me, all renaissance reconnaissance. I'm trying to use a big word, folks. I'm actually sober today. Reconnaissance on Austin, which we'll get to that, in a sec. But then she wanted to talk about Carly, and they actually went over the history a little bit about why she feels the way she feels. But their conversations are so real and respectful, and they hear each other out, and they know each other kind of. And I love the relationship. Love it.
yeah. The way that she just started off is like, I just want, I just want to let you know what's in my heart. And it's like, I was like, all right, yeah, let's hear what you got to say. And to hear Jason Bill's like, yeah, we were all wrong. We all did.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did that. He did. And that to me, somebody got mad that I said, well, no, you get older, you look back at stuff, you think like when you're younger, you think you're right. You think you're right. So you do all this stuff, you think you're right in the moment. And maybe in a long run, maybe it was better. And like she said, he was not perfect. He was a troubled person. Like she knew that he had issues. AJ had issues. It wasn't it. But they all, but his whole thing, and it's like people are already saying in the chat room, everybody has something in that storyline. Everybody did everything. Everybody reacted the way they reacted and did what they did. They all have a part to play in that. And Monica has her stuff in there, and AJ has his stuff, and Carly has her stuff. And that's almost why the storyline was so interesting, because it wasn't just one-sided. It wasn't just like, he did this to her, and that's it. Everybody had a part to play in that. They all did.
Mm-hmm.
No one made Carly sleep with AJ. Nobody made her do that. She wanted Jason. I mean, you go back to those scenes. You go on YouTube and watch them. You'll see it's like there's a lot of stuff out there. AJ was very problematic, and he had a drinking problem like his dad. His dad had his addiction problem later too, Alan. He had some issues. But Jason was considered the golden child, and for siblings sometimes that's hard to have to live with that. And he was the cause of Jason becoming Jason Morgan. Everybody does not forget that either. Yeah. So those demons were there. Monica coddled him, which parents do. The thing is, when you have children, it's hard. I mean, I try to judge parents sometimes too hard. I mean, there's some parents who are horrible, obviously, but there's some parents who their heart's in the right place, trying to help their children. And sometimes you make mistakes. I know I've made mistakes with my kids. I mean, it's just how it is. My parents made mistakes with me. I mean, it is what it is. And I think, but everybody had a part to play in it. And Jason admitted his part, just saying, we were wrong what we did too. I mean, everybody went extreme back then. The storylines are out there. You can go online and look at them. They all went extreme.
Yeah, that I feel like it still holds up as like one of the biggest changes that GH made and stuck with was just the change from Jason Morgan to Jason Morgan.
Yeah.
Usually it's like for a year or so, it's like a story arc. And then there's some kind of weird medical thing that'll come out in the end and like bring him back. And it's like, oh, look at that. But nope, they have stuck with it. I'm sure there are people that would love to see Jason Quartermain back, or a blending of the Jason Quartermain and the Jason Morgan. But I mean,
I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing because we have that going on. When he goes to the break, can I say hi to you? She's like, I know she wanted to say to him, but obviously it was daytime television. But it was just kind of like, sure. I mean, like, Jason, you can't have both ways, Jason. You can't have it both ways. You can't try to be there for her. You really can't. Carly was right about that. Carly was actually right about that. You can't be there for her and do this at the same time to protect the family. You can't do both.
Yeah.
He's having a hard time, Frank. He's having a hard time for some reason.
It is, I mean, it is interesting that, you know, and I don't know if it would change Britt's, it might give her a more understanding about why Jason's doing this, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she would forgive him or want to have any interaction with him still. If Jason just told her the whole story. And,
Right.
and I don't know why, I mean, I guess it's like, you know, this ruse only works if everybody believes that it's genuine.
Right.
The fact that so many people do is just ridiculous. I mean, at least Michael, at least they, you know, and I guess Sam, to a lesser extent, no, it's just, you know, for protection rather than out of some kind of like genuine, like, yeah, this is a deep emotional, personal connection between the two of us, and we really want to do this.
It's such an awkward situation. They played them so heavily as best friends. I believe that.
Yes.
I can't believe a romantic thing coming out of it.
I'm not interested in seeing it either.
No, me either.
Yeah.
It should be a marriage of convenience to save the family. They should. I hope they play it as such.
Yeah.
Because I can't see them sleeping together, and I can't see it. I just can't. It seems weird.
But I agree with you. That's why I think the pregnancy storyline is going to happen, because I feel like there needs to be a reason for Jason still to be caught in Britt's orbit, and a pregnancy keeps that going. Because otherwise, for as much as Jason's kind of, you know, trying to have it both ways, you know, eventually he would just like, all right, I have to say goodbye to that and just focus on this as much as it hurts. But a pregnancy involved, even if she's trying to like, oh, it's Jax's, Jason's not gonna, he's not gonna let that go.
Yeah, I wouldn't need to. I feel like Britt should have been brought into the situations because she knows how this is. She's been through it. She knows what's going on. She knows her parents. I just think it's obviously dramatic license, and who might tell me what to say, but I just think it could have been done slightly different. But yeah, well, we're just saying. Frank and I we're speculating. We don't know anything. We're just speculating. I don't want any more babies either. I'm just saying. It's an easy way. It's an easy way. It's a soap trope that usually works. Easy way to facilitate stuff.
And I mean, Britt is certainly a gossip. She loves getting together with Brad and digging in the dirt. But I think you've really noticed with Britt and Jason that a deeper connection, that if Jason did tell her what the real deal was, as hurt as she would be by it, and as much as she doesn't like it, I don't think she would say anything to anybody.
Yeah. Daisy Flower, I agree with you. I actually would rather have the disease progress and that be the catalyst. I wouldn't mind that. So, I mean, there's that besides, if you want to do pregnancy, then go that direction and see and make him draw him out of the Carly thing. These Novaks, again, I'm not scared of them, so I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you scared of them, Frank? I'm not scared of them.
No. I mean, unless there's, you know, you got to show me something more at stake. I will be more scared of them if they bring in a recognizable actor into some aspect of the Novak operation. Then I'll say like, all right, these guys are somebody to be take serious. But you know, the bit actor that comes in, it does not sell me on.
Not at all. Sorry, sir. We don't have anything against you. I just thought I'm not feeling it. But again, so enough about that storyline. Again, we got the other side of that. We got Austin. He keeps saying, hi, cuz, to everybody, makes me laugh every time. Hey, cuz. Hi, cuz. We're not there yet? Okay. To almost said Brianna. To what's her name? BLQ. Hi, cuz. And she's like, and Maxie, what? What happened? Why are you telling me it was your family? I laughed so hard. Oh, my God. I'm liking Roger Howard playing Austin. I'm actually enjoying this storyline.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm liking it, and I'm also curious what the next, waiting for the shoe to drop on Austin.
Yeah.
Because right now, I mean, you know, it's just kind of, I want to have these connections. I want what's mine of the Quartermain family. But does he have, what's his agenda past that?
Right. So that's fine. I mean, he just came back on and he's meeting everybody. He's kind of said, I mean, so he crosses several things. So one, he's at the hospital him and Britt are kind of developing some kind of a work friendship on some level, I guess. Ava and him, they keep pairing them together. I mean, they always had chemistry of some sort anyway, whatever they're playing. But it's interesting that he's the go-to for her, this Nicholas thing. I'm like, ooh, is something, are they?
Yeah, I mean, and I guess there's not that many women that he could get involved with. But it's almost like I'd rather see people that Franco did not interact so heavily with and just see those scenes. But again, that pool is incredibly small. So,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and Moira West is great. So
yeah. And they said they want to put her Elizabeth. They didn't want to do that again. It's too much. It's too literal. So you're right. They have there's not many left. But her and they're interesting together. They're very. I thought they should put him and Terry together. Let's try that for a little bit. Let's see how that goes. He with the trans woman. It'd be really interesting. That'd be an interesting storyline.
For sure, I'd be down for that.
Something different. I mean, because she's eligible. I mean, something different. They're at the hospital together.
You
got Portia. You got Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a few folks running around. But so we'll start with the Maxie, because Maxie said goodbye. In real life, she had to go have a brain surgery. So I thought it was very plausible for her to go out. But she, of course, having having conniptions that Austin's going to remember Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I think it's fine. I don't think that's the part of it. I don't think that's the only that's on his radar at all.
Yeah. I do like at least seeing that Brooklyn is really starting to feel the toll of keeping this with Valentine.
She is. And I thought she was going to tell him at first for a minute there this week. I was like, oh, but her and Valentine, I'm liking them becoming friends.
Yes.
They're literally becoming friends. And even though she's like, I need a friend right now. You've been great and all, and Chase wheels in. That was kind of funny. But they are they're actually becoming really close. They're just talking. And she knows he likes Anna.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that. He's playing coy. He couldn't stop smiling. He's trying to hold off. Couldn't stop smiling. But I just think it's just very interesting that Brooklyn is maturing before our eyes, I think. And she's really and she's part of the Austin storyline. She's like really on top of him, like, who are you? Like, we're quartermains. We're used to this guy. Like, who are you? And her and Maxie are literally becoming friends. Or at least they're bound together. They're bound together by this experience. You said it last week. They're bound together by this experience.
I mean, how could how could that not bring them closer? And for whenever they do bring Lulu out, it's one thing to go from you hated her as much as I did to all of a sudden, wait, you guys are like best buddies?
Oh, wait when Lulu comes out. Oh, we also got stupid Dante and Sam. You kiss out the kiss, and oh my god! And then and Olivia looking over there at the podium like something going on. It's like, I mean, they're setting this whole thing up. I mean, I don't care about Sam and Dante. I really don't.
That scene was torturous. What was worse than watching Dante and Sam kiss on the 4th of July was having to endure that scene of Dante and Sam explaining around it to Olivia without revealing that they kissed. That was even more. I was like with Olivia, like, okay, I'm whatever this is, I'm out. That was what a waste of a scene and screen time. Just garbage.
I know. I agree with you, Fran. I have nothing to say about that either. Just know that was Sam's big moment this week. Besides talking to Curtis, was the whole dance around this. You told Maxie I kissed the guy. I just don't care.
Yeah, and the fact that nobody has mentioned like Lulu at all, and any of this is crazy to me.
None.
That like Sam is like reluctant because Lulu's where you stand with Lulu, or Dante having some kind of weird feelings about being attracted to somebody, but also being connected to Lulu. So it's like nothing has been addressed to that at all, and it's just like, why? It should be at least mentioned. If you want to go this direction, that's cool, but at least give me a quick scene for explaining why Dante is now like open to this possibility. Just give me a quick thing, like, yeah, I have to move on. Cool, great. At least acknowledge the reality.
You got words out of my mouth. I really have. I don't even like talking about the storyline, but we have to because it's part of the show, and that's all. I'm just like, okay. That's it. I'm going to the next story because I don't really care about that. Anna and Val, of course, we love their scenes. They're slow boat to China of realizing their feelings. They went to Ryan's bar, a little Ryan's Hope throwback, and they shanked down the guy who's the brother of the fake nurse.
Oh, that
brother.
Probably the highlight of that scene. Like Anna's like, I'm just gonna be like really soft touch with getting this information out. I just like Valentine bringing the hammer down, just grabbing his arm, pinning him on there, just like go clean some glasses. Just
the guy was like twice his size. I'm like, okay.
Just yelling at the bartender to go away, and then nobody else got up or anything. It was just like, go clean some glasses. All right.
It's very New York, Frank. Nobody was in New York. The scene was a little ridiculous, but they got answers. They got some answers basically, and he got arrested. And he's like, whatever, and he's like, I didn't do anything wrong. But it was more about Anna. It was more about Anna and Valentine anyway. Them getting closer again, and the warm beer, and a little ha about that. And I like it. I don't care. I like it. I like them. I like it. And their slow way of trying to not be together, but they should be together. I think it's fine. I'm happy with it. I'm fine.
I'm digging where it's going. Just don't come on, GH. Just tell me just try to not derail a potential romance. Like GH is great about like getting you invested in like a potential romance and then just derailing it. And you're like, oh, okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Joe, you're right. Ava's mom should have been there. They should have brought in Eileen Douglas and had her come back as a not Eileen Douglas. I've got her last name, but she should have came on as a guest role and with the bar.
That's true. Until you mentioned that, I did not realize any sort of connection between Ryan's bar and Ryan's Hope.
Oh, you know that? Oh, yeah. It's
Ryan's Hope. So that's the bar from Ryan's Hope?
Yes, and the Novaks are from Ryan's Hope.
Ah, that's cool. All right, I did not know that connection.
I watched Ryan's Hope when I was growing up, so yeah, I knew that one. So Joe Novak worked at Ryan's bar. Yeah, so that was a whole thing. It was an Irish bar in New York, and in I think it was Lower Manhattan or somewhere, wherever it was. And yes, it's all Ryan's Hope references.
Nice. And were the Novaks like mob people back in?
No, they're a big time. They're one of the big families there, and somebody can also tell me more. I forgot exactly. There's a whole bunch of them, and they're one of the main families on Ryan's Hope.
That's cool. All right.
I know. So that's kind of funny. So it's a little nod to history over there. Yes. So that's what led Al, Alan and Anna and Val, and they got together. Eileen Kirsten, that's her name. Yes, thank you, Johnny. That's what I want. I want to see her come back on for a little special thing, and your little thing. The next one there from the soap. Go online. Everything's on YouTube. You type in Ryan Soap. They'll show you all that stuff. And Ryan Soap was the soap that came on first on ABC. It was like on at 11, I think, or 10:30 or 11. It was Ryan Soap, All My Children, Why to Live, General Hospital, and Edge of Night. That was the whole ABC lineup for years.
Man, it's who knows what GH has gotten in store for the Novaks, but now having a better appreciation of this kind of nod to soap operas past, it's like, well then, yeah, let's double down. Let's make this family something interesting.
Like I said, bring somebody on who's a name.
Yeah,
to kind of maybe anchor the family. Get somebody who we can get in there. I'm avoiding one storyline. We're going to get there.
Yeah,
I'm holding out. I'm holding out for that one. But there's two. Well, there's two stories. Yeah, Roscoe Bourne played the late Roscoe Bourne played Joe Novak. He did. Oh, no, this one I don't mind. Okay, this one I'm on a fence with, and Frank and I talked about it briefly before we came on. Spencer. So Spencer reveals himself. Josh throws him in the pool. Of course, kind of like ha ha. I kind of had fun. I mean, he is kind of funny. I love that he's still a brat. Totally tracks with him. And that he's starting to pot with Ava, with his father. He doesn't care what his father wants. He doesn't care. He's so happy to separate. But then it was him and Britt got together.
It was nice to see a Spencer Britt reunion, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was really funny. the whole exchange. What do you say? I was like, as you ordered a drink, so you'll have iced tea. The drink age is lower in Europe because they're not in Europe. And then trying to get Britt and Nicholas together again, so awkward.
Yeah, it was. It just, yeah,
They're done. I mean, they're done. I don't see any chemistry whatsoever left with them. I feel like they're done.
No, for sure. Which is, a shame, but yeah, I mean, there's really no. I can't imagine them going back without a lot of extensive scenes about, hashing out their issues. So there's a sense to me like this Spencer also just kind of treats Nicholas kind of like his butler, because like when they do show up later for the Ava potential parent trapping.
Oh, parent trap. Yes.
Why don't you get us drinks while I go change? And that's how Spencer treats his dad. I'm like, hold on, easy. You get your own drink, buddy.
Well, Spencer is very he's taller than his dad. It's like, okay, he's taller than his dad, and just looks at him. And I mean, I don't know. I just it is funny. It's like he's like a true Cassadine. He is in control. And Trina is hot. She wants to like get him on some level, but then she wanted to use it to her advantage. I mean, she holds the secret that he's been around for before this whole thing happened. But that's kind of like, I keep thinking to myself, but doesn't it even out that he thought his father was dead for a while? So I mean, it probably all evens out. I mean, like in the end,
I do not understand why the elevating the stakes of not letting anybody know that Spencer was in town earlier than he said. It seems so trivial to me. I don't understand. Like, and his excuse, like, if my father found out that I was here and didn't talk to him, oh boy, would he be mad? Like, really? Would he be? He goes, like, no, he's just happy you're here now. He wouldn't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, would it be that bad? I mean, would it be anything? I mean, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. But this Spencer clearly wants them not together. Clearly, he is pulling some strings, and everybody doesn't know this yet. So when that comes out, that's gonna be the big bombshell. More so that he's been around here for a while. I think the big bombshell is that he's the one who orchestrated the stalking stuff, and Ava will be pissed. Ava's gonna be pissed. Woo!
Because I think it happening to Ava alone, she could probably work through because of what she did, and it made Spencer so mad. But involving Avery in it, I feel like takes it a bridge too far.
Oh yeah, and Trina. She loves Trina now.
Yeah,
Trina got caught in the crossfire. So he's gonna be pissed. He will be pissed. She will be pissed. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that, because that's gonna come out. Obviously, it's gonna come out at some point. But Trina and Nicholas and Spencer, I'm kind of liking them. So I'm trying to figure out. It's kind of, I'm not sure on him yet either. I did a show about on my sister show, Jay's Dirty Deeds, out now. I did the Dirty Deeds of Spencer Cassadine, and Nicholas Chavez, who plays him, liked my post and said, "Great show." He watched it. Thank you, Nicholas Chavez. I'm trying to get him on this show. I'm trying to get him on here. But he said thank you. So I'm trying to warm up to this Nicholas and see how I feel about him, because it's, again, there's before, bring on someone cartoonish, do something really bad, but then try to make him endearing to us. They did it with Valentine. They did it with Nick. They do it with certain characters. You're like, it's all the Cassadine men. They do it with them, and we're supposed to kind of accept them, but then I don't know. It's just interesting to me. We talked about it before. We talked about on the show before the characters, how do we get over this thing? We know this happened supposedly.
Yeah. I guess that is such a fine line to ride, especially with Spencer, because he can be extremely annoying, but then there are moments of sweetness that he has, like with Laura. I'm thinking more about the Nicholas Bechtold version, where you have just real moments with Britt or with Laura, or even with his dad too. And then there'd be the other moments where he'd be just the annoying Spencer, pushing people's buttons and trying to make schemes and stuff like that. And it just, and even with Nicholas Bechtold, that version of the character, there were times where it's like, okay, enough with the annoying parts of Spencer. Let's just have some real moments. So I don't. It wasn't perfect with the previous actor. So I can't expect them to have it quite right for this one yet either.
Well, it'll be interesting. Like I said again, he is part of so many people. I mean, he's connected to so many folks. I think it was, I forgot who was there's another GH podcast who did a whole family tree on it, who he's connected to. Forgot which one. I'm sorry, I wish I remember which one it was. It could be Harborview GH, or it wasn't 10th floor. Could have been Portia. There's so many out there. I forgot which one it is, but they did something, and it was good. I was like, oh yeah, they have this. These relate to so many people. So on the show, so I think it's very interesting. Because him and Cameron share a grandmother, so to speak. I mean, you say grandmother, we're friends. That's a weird.
Yeah.
Why you say we're cousins? I mean, he calls her Aunt Elizabeth. I mean, I guess it's weird. But anyway, but yeah, it's I and plus Cameron and Joss were always, Spencer was always into Emma.
Right.
So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. I mean, they're going to make him interested in Joss, maybe, but no, but he likes Trina. I'm just curious where they're going to go with all the four of them. That's going to be obviously a storyline of some sort.
I would love to have Emma back in the mix.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great legacy character. That would be awesome. And I feel like the real actress is, close enough that, I mean, she may look a little young compared to everybody else, but I think she can make it work.
Good they say, though. She's growing up, folks. If you follow her on Brooklyn Race Hills, she's growing up. So, I mean, I think she could fit right in, I think. So, and maybe be like a Christina, be a little younger than the rest of them by a few years. And that's the whole thing. And then she matures into it. I think she could. I think she'd totally do it.
Yeah. But again, with the Spencer secret, it seems so trivial to me, and I don't understand why they're hanging so much on the need to keep the secret. Like, who cares? Just say it. I think there's plenty of other things around that storyline that this weird, secret of like when Nicholas came to town or Spencer came to town, it doesn't matter. But
yeah. Okay. I saved the two last storylines for last on purpose. So Frank, I'm gonna have you choose which one we talk about first.
All right.
Second to last. I'm gonna say one word for each.
Perfect.
The first word is the first word is. Well, I mean, it's not that. Oh my God. First word's marriage. And the second one it's several words. You have to come back. First word is marriage. Second one is you have to come back.
All right, let's. You have to come back. We'll go there.
So everybody thought it was weird too. I thought it was weird also. When Lenny announces he's dying of pancreatic cancer, that homegirl hugs Mike first. I thought, when you go hug your husband, it was like you're hugging Mike. I was like, somebody else caught that too, and I was like, that seems weird to me, but okay. So another dying storyline, maybe, because now looking into Nina's money, and then he had talked to Nina. So there's a whole thing. So again, but this whole thing. So do you think they're wrapping it up?
I don't know. The one thing that what I liked, to go off of the topic slightly, is we saw the scene of Finn, Elizabeth, and Jason overhearing in the park.
Yes.
And there's a nice bit of distance between Jason and Finn and Elizabeth. And he was able to hear everything.
Oh, everything.
But now we've got Lenny. We've got Lenny and Mike and Phyllis and Nina over there in the bar, and they give Lenny and Nina some space, and yet they can't hear anything that's being talked, and they're in a closed environment in a much closer proximity. I'm like, what is happening with this stuff?
Yes.
I don't know if it's Lenny's. I don't know if they're writing Lenny out, or it's that what he needs to save him is in Port Charles. And how does Nina deal with the fact that, the only, because if if Lenny and Phyllis go, then Mike is going to go. And so how do you deal with that? Like, to save the life of somebody you care about, but it also blows up this huge secret you've been keeping. So I feel like it's leading in that direction, I'm hoping it's not the end of Lenny, but I don't know if I need to see him die. I can just see him, be sick, get saved, and then he and Phyllis return back to, Nixon Falls, and we never see them again. If that happens, I don't know if I need to see him die though. Lenny didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be some intersectionality happening too. I feel like it's going to be this whole thing where we have to go to Port Charles. Like, the specialist is there. And how's he going to handle this? I have a feeling with you, Frank, the same thing. I think that's what we're leading. That's what good soap would do. That'll bring Mike back to Port Charles. Yeah. Right now, he has no reason to go there. He has no memory of it. He has no reason to go there, except for Nina. He knows Nina goes there. Having Nina leave her grandson to come back to Nixon Falls, and she has feelings for Mike. I think it's completely unexpected for her. She really did not plan that. And she's liking this version of Sonny, so to speak, and this town. And I think she really likes Phyllis and Lenny. And that would be kind of weird. I mean, it's like she has an alternate, like she said to Abraham a while back, no one knows me. I get to be a whole new person. No one knows me at all.
Could GH make that bold of a decision to treat Mike like they treated Jason Quartermain and give him that permanent?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I have no idea.
Because what we get if he remembers everything and reverts back to Sonny.
Right.
Then he goes back in, he takes his place as son of the mob, the life continues on like that. Him and Carly together. I feel like there's much more different aspects to the Sonny / Mike character that could open up if he never remembered. And he just he was rebuilding a life with these connections of, much like Jason had to deal with, these people that love him and want a connection with him. How does he build that life?
Gabriella C says, do you guys think they will have them sleep together before the truth comes out?
Mike does. Mike wants to get it on.
He does. He wants to get in. He wants some Nina. Nina's like, sorry. Because as a man, of course you would. You see an attractive woman, you spend time with her. Yeah, he wants to get his freak on. I'm sure. He wants to get in there and get down and dirty. She's the one who knows the truth of who he is. So she's holding up. But she wants it too. She saw those dimples, Frank. She saw those dimples. The vortex.
And she's tasted that pasta sauce.
Pasta sauce. That's it. I mean, I'm into. Man, I waited my heart through my stomach too. So I like that's fine me. I don't know. The fact they haven't slept together yet actually is very interesting. I think it's very interesting. They haven't.
Well, but I think it's realistic, because as much as Nina may be attracted to him, she also knows, like, holy cow, I know he has this whole other life and all these people that love him and miss him and would desperately want him to be back. And by my actions, I am keeping all that from happening.
She is.
So I can see why that could kind of, tamp down, whatever libido's got, like, kicking up. Like, let's get it. Let's do it. It's just, it's such a, I could see, like, even Lakrish would say, like, for Nina to really lean into this and embrace this, but for her to play this kind of like, oh, I know this is so terrible, and I know, when the truth comes out, I'm probably never going to be able to see you again, Wiley. To play that kind of like wishy-washy kind of thing with it, it's just like frustrating. Like, GH has a lot of those these things where it's just like, if you just said it, we can move on to the next phase of the storyline, and we're not, because we all have to. You're trying to get to different story beats, so.
Nathan hopes it's a what if story, that he's actually dreaming all this.
Oh my gosh.
They did Dallas season 9 was a whole dream season. They did that to bring back Bobby. That was very bold and gutsy for them to do that back then. They've never done that since. And Days to the Time Jump, where they went a year ahead. Desperate Housewives went 5 years ahead. Did any of the Marvel stuff, any of the DC stuff do that on TV? They do go ahead a couple of years or something?
No.
Yeah, so it's not a common practice. It's not a common practice. So I don't. That would be wonderful, but how many storylines would be affected?
True. I mean, it'd be everything. You'd have to bring like Peter August would still be alive. Cyrus
Well,
would still be in the picture.
you know, I'm like, nope. I'm like, okay, we're done. I'm like, you said that, Frank. I'm like, nope, no dreams, no dreams, no dreams, no dreams, no dream season. Nope.
Yeah, it's you know, if Lenny does die, I hope that's not the end of Phyllis. Maybe does Phyllis stick around?
Yeah.
Poor Charles, if that's what happens.
Yeah.
But the thing that's frustrating about the storyline too is that Nina having her scenes with Willow, and letting her know that things are coming up and that she's going to have to leave. She makes it seem like it's like, like so impossible. Like, I don't know if I'll ever see Wiley or when. You're just like a couple hours away. And hey, guess what? There's also Zoom and Skype and FaceTime. There's so many things that you could still stay connected to people that you love without having to be around them. So I don't know why they're playing the scenes. It's like, I don't know when I'll be back. Oh no.
I know him calling her. It's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just where it's just going, I have no idea. But I feel like maybe they're wrapping up to come back to Port Charles somehow.
I feel like they got to.
They have to.
I mean, otherwise, I don't know how somebody gets to Nixon Falls to kind of blow this up. So I feel like it's got to be them coming back, and it'll be interesting to see because I'm sure Nina's going to talk Mike out of wanting to come. I'll bring Lenny and Phyllis, but you should stay here and take care of the 10-0. That's what they want. They still need their business running, and if you leave, what's going to happen? So I'm sure Mike will probably stay behind at first, but then eventually realize, like, no, I got to be close to the people I care about, and then he'll just on his own come to Port Charles and surprise everybody.
Now here's what's funny. So we have Lenny and Phyllis. Phyllis is a nurse, so she could work at General Hospital. She's decided to stay.
Yes.
She's met Valentine. She knows Nina. Then she would know Sonny Mike. There's a connection there. I'm sure her and Carly would get along fine. If they met or whatever, probably whatever. There are other Black folks there. It'd be really funny if she was related to Stella. Remember that long time ago storyline about somebody being nearby?
That's true. There you go. Nixon Falls isn't that far away.
No, it's not. I said it'd be wonderful. They could tie that back together somehow.
Why not?
And she'd be part of that whole family, that whole mixed up family. Who knows? So there's reasons. There's some good stuff that could happen, bringing them back this direction. And it will blow up everything, of course, because obviously he's Sonny. So, and I want to make sure I get this correctly, folks. On Twitter, there's a kid. You guys know this already? Who's doing GH recaps?
Yeah,
7 years old. I want to say his name correctly. Is it Max does GH something?
I think so, isn't it?
I want to say his name correctly. because I don't want to get it wrong. But he's doing. If you guys know in the chat, you can tell me too. But he does recaps of GH, like short ones. Is it Max does GH? I just put it wrong. But he wrote, and Maurice Bernard answered him back. Well, I was laughing. Oh, it's called Max Updates GH. He has 1721 followers on Twitter.
We'll get him go.
He wrote and said, "It's been 8 months, Maurice, since you've been back in Port Charles." And Maurice's like, "I know it was 8 months." I couldn't stop laughing. Kid's hilarious. He is hilarious. I follow him, and he was like telling Maurice about himself, about how so he needs to come back home. So it's very funny. It's very funny. Yeah. He's 7 years old. So there you go, kid.
Yeah, there you
go.
Back
too. He wants Sonny back too. He's 7 years old, Frank, and he wants Sonny back.
Yeah, Maurice Bernard's not going to respond to my tweet.
He didn't respond to mine either. So that's why I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it just because I'm just done with scenes of Phyllis and Mike talking about Nina. Let's just move on to the next. I can't stand those scenes. So please, whatever it takes to get us past that into the next phase of the storyline. So I mean, we're still going to be talking about Nina. We're always going to be talking about Nina when it comes to Phyllis and Mike.
I know.
Because the betrayal is going to come out, and then it's going to be Phyllis trying to. Well, you have to understand where Nina's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So, okay. The last storyline that I just need to bring up.
Yeah.
Willow and Chase and Michael.
See, this whole storyline is garbage.
It just makes no sense to me.
It doesn't. The fact that they just can't tell him. Why would you not? I could understand, the hurt that Michael and Willow felt when they found out they learned the truth about Chase and Sasha. It's like, wow, you try to control our lives. Well, I mean, we understand also that you made the bigger sacrifice, but we still don't like the way you did it. For this, it's just like, guys, have you learned nothing? That if you just told him, and it's affecting a child's safety. I mean, yes, that has a lot of ramifications for this. This is a grown man who is going to walk whether he is married to Willow or not, because he's a cop, because he's a human being, because he wants to regain all his faculties. It is not this thing about Willow that's the only thing that's going to give him the motivation to walk. It is not. It is not. And so for them not to say anything is just absolutely stupid.
You said it all, Frank. For me, I agree. No, I agree. I just yeah. I agree with you. Everything you said, Frank, I agree with. I just think it's ridiculous, and we didn't learn anything from before, apparently. So
it's just and so now Chase is like, he's starting to walk, and now we already get that great 80s soap story.
Oh yeah.
Somebody who's been paralyzed then learns the truth about something, goes, well, now I need to act like I still can't walk for a while longer. And so then it becomes like, how does it get revealed that, wait, you could walk for how long? Oh my God.
And see, I like Chase in Brooklyn. Even that one little scene together, it was like, yep. You too. That's what we want.
Now, you've been to Prospect Studios, yes?
Yes, I have.
So the what they use is whatever, like the GH outdoor courtyard.
Yes.
Is that, I assume that's the outside of the studios?
It is.
Which is great.
It is.
Shout out to the one doctor and one nurse that played background.
They did it. Yeah, they did. They did their background crosses.
Back and forth over there.
That's right, Frank. Yeah, Central Casting probably got them on there, and they said, "Okay, your background cross, action." Mm-hmm.
Oh, the low point for this week was Michael and Willow sitting out there, and Michael saying to Willow, in all earnestness, like, I want to hold you in my arms, and I want to make love to you. And Willow just like they cut to Willow, and she's like, oh yeah. Just, why am I watching this? This is awful.
I know. I was like, oh my goodness. I don't understand. But Willow's still alive. And so is Sasha. So I give him points. Everybody thinks Michael dies. So they're still alive. I guess. But I'm like, but Chase and Brooklyn, just that one little scene enough got me excited. Willow with anybody else would get me excited. I mean, I just don't understand.
It was interesting that they never really kind of addressed, because there was a Michael and Sasha scene this week as well, and it kind of goes around the Brando Sasha dilemma, and why Sasha was so reluctant about Brando being in her life, and why not talk about that with Michael? Because clearly she didn't have that big of an issue when it came to Michael. Michael is still close to the Corinthos family, but is it because he's got Quartermain ties, or he's just not in the business for real, that's far enough away for Sasha to feel comfortable being in a relationship with him?
Yeah.
I would love to have heard that conversation, and just to hear Michael's point of view about what it's like to be in a mob family, but not necessarily involved in all their activities.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they didn't, because that seemed like such a big thing. That was Sasha's main reason. Who else better to talk to than somebody that you were dating that was in that same situation, and you didn't have any issue with it at the time? But, oh well.
And that's it, kids. That's it. I don't want to talk anymore. That's just it. It's because it just makes me, we're going in circles, Frank Moran, because we should write that storyline. I mean, come on, folks. I mean, it's just not. It makes no sense. It makes no whatsoever. It makes my heart hurt and my hair. So we're gonna stop. I mean, we've been on here for an hour and a half, kids, longer than the show actually it was on TV. But we gave you your GH this for the week. We did it.
If we're gonna say number one, James, we got to give him this top tier talent.
Top tier talking. Yeah, exactly. All that. Exactly. Oh, you guys. But seriously, thank you, everybody. All the Facebook groups that we share this and that. Thank you so much. Everybody who watches or listens to this, because both ends on the audio and video spectrum is the number one show of my network. I'm just thank you so much for hearing us rant about things we don't like. But we do like some stuff on there. We do. And I see the comments. I see on YouTube. You get mad at one of us every week at some point. So I mean, that's par for the course. But we like doing it for you. We like bringing this to you.
Sure.
And it's a lot of fun. And Frank, if they want to follow you somewhere, where should they follow you?
Yeah, I mean, folks, I think you would all agree that it was probably better last week when I was frozen and you didn't have to look at my reactions. Now you've got the reactions back. I'm sure you're not happy about that at all. So let me know that you'd rather me be frozen on Twitter and Instagram. Happy Go Jackie.
Yeah. And you can follow me. We're all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. I'm gonna give a shout out to our girl Alexis Torres, where I stole that from. I saw her the other day online. I was talking to her, so I just want to say that. Yes, Alexis Torres, my shirt. This is from Prospect Studios, from Frank Valentini. He gave us all these shirts back in the day. We are back next weekend. We're back. We're gonna be here again next week. I mean, next week is fine. Yeah, next week we're here. That's why we're here this week. And we just talk about everything. So I know Gabrielle came on late. We talked about Brit and Spence. We talked about everything. So just go back and watch. So you go back and watch and see what we talked about. Thank you guys for saying the kind words. We love doing this. And everybody, and Lucretia, LACRETIALYON. There is only one. There's only one, folks. You can't find another one. Let's give her a shout out too. And to all of our fellow GH podcasters, I always say, some have been on our show, some I've just met. It's enough GH stuff to talk about to go around. There's enough to go around. And so there's a lot of GH talk. So about the our soap opera we love. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week, everybody. If you're in the hot weather, stay hydrated.